Hello everyone, my name is Thor and welcome back to Anthropology. Alright, thank you for joining me in today's video. It's going to be a good one, so buckle up. If this is your first time to the channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoyed it enough to subscribe for more. If you're a returning viewer subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I really hope you enjoyed this one as well. So in today's video, it's gonna be like a little chit chat just around something that I've been seeing online. You know, TikTok, the TikTok girlies are really making this known. It is recession core. Now, when I first saw this, I was a bit puzzled. Recession core, I'm like, is recession an aesthetic now? Like, is this something people are wanting? Like, I really had no idea where it began, but I did a little bit of research. And I want to just talk about it with you today. I want to get your input down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this, if it's a trend, if it's a fad, like what exactly it is at the base of this whole phenomena, sort of why it came about and where it's going. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So this will be podcast style. So if you just want to put me on in the background, do some laundry, you know, make some lunch, work, you know, put me on. I'll be here chatting away the day. So I do have a little cup of vanilla Earl Grey tea. It's the afternoon currently, and I just need a little pick-me-up so I could get to filming this video for you. So this video is not going to be in any apparent order. I'm just going to be roughly talking about what is recession core, where it came about and why it came about, and what it's basically leading us into as we head into 2023. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so in my digging from TikTok to the internet, I wanted to figure out what exactly is recession core. And basically what I found is recession core is basically just minimalism repackaged for the Gen Z girlies. Recession core, from this article that I found on fashion.com, is exactly what you think it is. It is basically dressing for the recession. Now, as we head into 2023, the economic outlook is a bit questionable. You know, I'm sure you've seen the headlines, layoff central here and there. You know, prices are going up like crazy on basic goods such as like food and housing, and inflation has never been stronger. So there is a lack of glitziness, a lack of logos, a lack of overt displays of wealth that we can see coming into trend and that are basically dictating fashion. What we've noticed, if you've been watching or keeping up with the runways lately, it's been quite more pared down. It's been less, you know, glitzy, less glamorous. I mean, obviously couture is doing its own thing. The elites, recession core does not affect the elites. It mostly will affect the middle class and obviously the lower class. In a recession, typically, poor get poorer, the rich get richer. That is how capitalism works. So what we're basically talking about is a shift away from overt displays of wealth, Logomania. Logomania was huge these past few years, obviously with Gucci, Balenciaga, really pushing the Logomania trend. And I think that was great when it was time of economic boom. You know, people have money to spend, people could buy things that displayed their wealth. Now with recession core, it is the elimination of those logos. Even though the pieces that you can talk about are still overtly expensive, there's sort of like a hypocrisy within the recession core online. It's not like everyone's going suddenly to shop at thrift stores. It's like people are just basically becoming more minimal. And brands like The Row, Celine, Prada, you know, Miu Miu, even their recent runways have been very pared down. Miu Miu has done a very pared down runway for their most recent season. Lots of neutrals, lots of beiges, greige is a big one. You know, it's like very unthreatening, very calm, very muted colorways. Another fashion show which I also wanted to touch on was Gucci's Fall Winter 2023 collection. So this is the first collection after Alessandra Michele obviously departed ways with the house. So this collection was designed exclusively by the Gucci design team before their new creative director sort of steps in. And it's drastically different from the previous Alessandra Michele collections. It is very pared down. It is very neutral, I would say. I mean, obviously there are some bright colors, but for the most part, it is very pared back. You know, there's jeans, there's simple cut blazers. It is not the extravagant Gucci that we knew under Alessandra Michele. And I think it also leads into where we're going now. Less ostentatious, less less in your face, more pared back, more subtle, more toned down. In this article that I found from fashion.com talking about recession core, basically it says everything is beige, outfit trends have been reverting to minimalism, beauty routines are centered around looking as natural as possible, welcome to recession core. This basically came off the tails of ballet core as well. I don't know what this whole core thing is. I don't know what this obsession with aesthetics is, but economists have been predicting a recession to come for a while. I mean, who knows if we're in it? I really thought we were in it, honestly, since the beginning of the pandemic, but I guess we're not. Like, it still hasn't hit globally, I guess. I don't know. But in times of economic turmoil, displaying your wealth in material ways is sort of frowned upon. It's sort of like a no-no. If people are struggling to get their basic necessities met, it is frowned upon to walk around with sort of conspicuous consumption, such as like really fancy cars, really fancy clothing, really fancy homes, really fancy trips, just displaying your wealth in ways that are not basic necessities. Now, obviously, everyone can do what they want with their money, but this is just the norm, the societal standard. When times are tough, you don't go spending a lot of money. You sort of try to look more as minimal as possible. And I think this also leads into the safety element. Global safety right now also seems a bit questionable. Like in Canada, in Toronto specifically, the public transit system seems to be overrun with attacks. Now, whether or not these attacks have anything to do with personal goods is a different story. I think most of it's like mental health issues, but still, it is a way to sort of mute yourself away, not be so overt, not be so loud in your expression, and sort of become one with the norm, if that makes sense. Sort of toning yourself down, toning your look down so you look more average, I guess. So I was very interested in this whole recession core, especially coming off of the tail of Logomania and Y2K. I mean, I think we're still a bit in Y2K, being super popular with like the bright colors and the frilly skirts and whatnot, but I definitely see a shift towards more minimal aesthetics, more minimalist mindset, sort of using what we have, not being overly consumed with consumption, and focusing more on quality over quantity. Another part, which I think is sort of ironic and sort of, I guess there's another side to it, is there's been a huge interest in Hermes recently on social media, specifically around the Birkin, and just like, I feel like every social media influencer now is like all about trying to get Hermes. Hermes is known to be super exclusive, but also very minimal and sort of an if you know, you know type brand. So I feel like while it is ironic that Birkins are super elite, I would say, they're obviously the most expensive bags you can get on the market, they also sort of funnel into this recession core aesthetic of being very toned down, not having huge flashy logos. Obviously they're very recognizable and very like iconic, but at the same time, they are very pared down. They are very just utilitarian bags for the most part. So let me know if you agree or disagree that Birkins are a part of recession core. I mean, take a shot every time I say the word recession core in this video. Yeah, I definitely find it interesting that Birkins and Hermes as a whole, Hermes could be becoming more popular within the general markets because of their pricing against Chanel. Sort of in comparison to Chanel, which has raised their prices, Hermes doesn't look so distant to the Chanel customer or to previous Chanel customers, if that makes sense. But I digress. So I definitely think it's interesting that people are labeling themselves as having this aesthetic. I'll insert some TikToks here.
Looking so minimal feels like strategic, inconspicuous way of sneaking in status ambiguity. I think streetwear meeting the luxury market in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Think Tishi at Givenchy, rappers wearing Phoebe Philo, era Celine, etc. I think that created a new form of status ambiguity and cultural ambiguity in fashion.
And I definitely think it's interesting that it's being led by TikTok mostly. Like a lot of these trends are being led from TikTok. And if we look at the main demographic of TikTok, obviously it's younger generations, Gen Z, who this will be their first major economic downturn potentially. You know, for the most part, this is their first big economic situation, especially in North America. You know, a lot of them were very young in 2008. I myself was very young in 2008, but I still remember like a little bit of it. And apparently this is going to be worse. So not to raise the alarm bells for anybody, but let me know what you think. Does recession core exist? Is it just a repackaging and a repurposing of minimalism? Is it just people wearing basic clothes and trying to pass it off as something to be trendy? Like, let me know what you think. Is this a bunch up or is it legit? So, you know, I know this was a very rambly video. I know my videos are becoming a little more unstructured, but yeah, I really wanted to just talk about this and explore it a little bit more. So yeah, let me know what you think down below, and thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.